Welcome back, YouTube. Today we got Guts versus Dimitri, Berserk versus Fire Emblem, Death Battle. I have no idea who Dimitri is. I don't really follow Fire Emblem, but Guts, I know what Guts went through. He needs a win. I hope he wins this. That's really it. Make sure you hit that like button. Leave your reaction requests in the comments. That's really it. There you go.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and Mint Mobile.
Guts, the brutal black swordsman of Berserk.
And Dimitri, the savage savior king from Fire Emblem. Vengeance is an ever-malicious force that can turn anyone into a broken, traumatized,
unstoppable one-man army. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I mean, his armor is kind of...
In the realm of Midland, life really sucks all around. Demons run rampant, villages get pillages, and a helpless elf fairy has become target practice for some thugs. Batter up!
Until walking into the torment comes a stranger clad in black, cleaving through anyone in his way with one humongous sword.
Wiz, that weapon is too big to be called a sword, too massive and thick, more like a slab of raw iron that no normal man could wield.
Except for the man with a simple but fitting name, Guts.
But what is it that makes Guts so terrifying? Well, we're about to get into some really dark shit, fair warning.
Born from his mother's recently hanged corpse, Guts was taken in by a mercenary band led by Gambino.
Who definitely isn't winning Father of the Year. Gambino put Guts through the ringer, training him with swords way too big for him before putting him into live combat at only 9 years old.
Training with such large swords made Guts inhumanly strong, but he needed a different kind of strength to endure the horrendous abuse he suffered from Gambino.
So he murdered the bastard in self-defense. He deserved it, trust me. With no home or family to speak of, Guts aimless...
They skipped some stuff to why he deserved it, but he did deserve that death.
Wandered for years as a lone mercenary
until he caught the eye of the ambitious Griffith. Impressed by Guts' bold battle prowess and blunt honesty, Griffith wanted him. So Guts joined his mercenary group, the Band of the Hawk.
Where Guts' gutsy fighting style made him the perfect captain. The dude was hardcore enough to fight 100 enemy soldiers on his own, and even helped end a 100-year-long war, all while earning respect and glory with Griffith and his group.
For the first time, Guts found true friends and comrades to rely on.
But when Griffith realized he couldn't keep Guts at his side, really bad things happened.
Upon the eclipse, Griffith summoned a bunch of demons, became a super demon himself, and sacrificed Guts' new friends to the abyss. If that wasn't bad enough, he marked Guts with a demonic brand, then raped his girlfriend Casca, forcing Guts to watch as his eye was split open and he was forced to tear off his own arm.
Yeah, really bad things.
Guts barely escaped with his life.
Really.
He vowed to brutally murder Griffith, and every demon, down to the last one. No small task, even for him.
And every big task needs even bigger weapons. Guts' bread and butter is the enormous Dragon Slayer.
6.5 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds, Dragon Slayer is absurd. In Guts' hands, it can cleave through plated armor and even demons with skin of corundum, a real-life metal that is harder than steel.
And since Guts has made killing demons his favorite pastime, Dragon Slayer was exposed to so much demonic blood that it exists on the astral plane, meaning it can harm any supernatural monster. God, this thing's heavy.
Guts also carries a collection of explosives and throwing knives, but I'm partial to his mechanical arm, complete with a wondrous invention of a repeater crossbow and a secret cannon.
That's neat and all, but they aren't as awesome as Dragon Slayer here. God, how does he do this? Okay, the repeater crossbow is pretty cool. It can fire a volley of 4 to 5 bolts per second, making it the go-to option for mowing down groups of bad guys. And hey, if you gotta lose your hand, replacing it with a goddamn super gun is the way to go. Even demons are afraid of this thing. See ya, Snakeface!
With his collection of weapons and indomitable will, Guts slaughtered everyone and...
I actually forgot he lost his hand, and he just been swinging that shit with a fake hand on his goddamn time and a real hand. I just completely forgot that shit. but I really hope he wins this.
Everything in his way.
Be it an army of trolls, a supersonic elf fairy, or some Bible thumper whose blows were like cannons.
But while Guts took the physical challenges in stride, his mental strife was a different story.
He had demons to deal with, literally and figuratively, always tormented by his inner beast of darkness.
Guts tried to shoulder this trauma alone, even for a time leaving behind Casca, who survived but was mentally broken. Nothing would replace the comrades Guts lost during the eclipse. However, through his resilience, he eventually saw the dangerous path he was on, and so reunited with Casca and eventually came to depend on new companions.
Including pretty boy Serpico. He doesn't look like much, but the guy is fast enough to dodge lightning at speeds over 100 times faster than sound. And Guts has kept up with him more than once.
And thanks to the witch Flora, Guts got his deadliest and riskiest asset, the Berserker armor.
Oh boy, by shutting down all mental limitations, this armor gives Guts a huge amp in strength. Pain means nothing to him now, and it even heals injuries on the fly. Wait, did I say heal? What I meant was it pierces his torn flesh and broken bones together so he can fight until the actual last drop of blood has left his body. Man, that's hardcore.
And extremely risky. Donning the armor has been nearly disastrous for him more than once.
Yeah, when he's in a stitched up rage, the beast of darkness is gnawing on his mind, tempting him to go berserk. Bam! Title drop!
Guts' tenacity is a sight to behold. He's held back a demonic dragon, withstood being impaled, and even teamed up with a fabled demon swordsman to take down an apostle that can channel lightning.
And sliced up a cloud dude in the rawest manga panel ever. Just look at it! If that's not badass enough for you, he once killed a giant sea god from the inside.
With its whale, this behemoth created a storm that covered an entire island. The kinetic energy of such a storm is immense. Gauging the size of the island, the energy required to induce such a storm would need to exceed 600 kilotons of TNT.
Yeah, that's right. Guts gutted a sea monster whose shout was a natural disaster.
He needed to do that and much more to reach Elfhelm, where Casca's lost sanity was finally returned. Things were looking up for the legendary Black Swordsman.
But that bastard Griffith just wouldn't leave him alone.
No matter how tragic his tale becomes, Guts will persevere for his allies, both past and present.
He has new friends, a renewed heart, a badass sword, and the last thing any man, demon, or god wants to do is mess with him. Fuck yeah!
What are you talking? They must have not read the newest chapters that came out. He is a broken man. His sword stopped talking to him. He is sad. He needs a win now. And the author died, so rip him. But damn, this motherfucker is like just fucking sad. Like his whole life is just fucking sad. He finally got her back. They got her ass snatched from him. Like, oh my fucking god. And that's his only thing that was keeping him sane. Just stop working.
This episode of Death Battle is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Sometimes in life you can get stuck with tough choices, and you're not sure how to battle.
On the continent of Fodlan lies the holy kingdom of Fargus, a knightly nation where the youth learn to swing a sword before they can write their own name. Prince Dimitri Alexandra Blathid was no exception.
The kid was a prodigy, able to spar with far more experienced warriors, in part because he was a crest bearer.
Or someone gifted mystical power through the blood of the goddess Sothis. Those born with a crest gain anything from enhanced magic to superhuman strength.
At 9 years old, Dimitri could lift giant boulders, run across mountains for hours, and constantly broke swords by accident. Most elites who had a crest also had a massive ego, but not Dimitri.
Right, Dimitri was strong, but generally kind. Like when he gave his childhood friend Edelgard a dagger. An earnest, if odd gift.
I got shotgun shells for my first crush. But life took a turn for Dimitri when a mysterious group murdered his dad and a bunch of knights, burning them all in front of him, and leaving the poor kid with some serious survivor's guilt.
Guilt that only worsened when the country of Dusker was unjustly blamed for the tragedy. Dimitri lamented that he could not stop Fargus's corrupt nobles.
Don't worry though, when those same nobles rebelled a couple years later, he fought them like a beast, slaying them all with sadistic glee.
This savage side would emerge when Dimitri was reminded of the tragedy he witnessed. Otherwise, his chivalrous charm remained forefront.
With guidance from his dead dad's buddy Rodrigue, Dimitri got into the Garrick-Monk Officers Academy, where he led the Blue Lion's house and learned the mystic arts.
Well, he's not the most proficient in it, but Dimitri did learn healing and elemental magics, able to call down lightning or even channel it through his weapons.
Letting him electrocute tons of enemies at once. He learned this and more from everyone's favorite Smash Bros. Character, Professor Byleth.
Assuming you picked Dimitri's Blue Lions when you played Fire Emblem Three Houses. We're getting a little meta here, but his story turns out very differently depending on the path chosen. Aside from the Blue Lions, there's Edelgard's Black Eagles.
And the Golden Deer, led by the crafty Claude Von Regen, aka the Best House.
That band of goofy misfits? The Black Eagles are a far more cohesive unit.
Nah, fear the deer, Wiz.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Ashen Wolves for life, losers!
Of course Jocelyn picks the Goths.
Anyway, in Dimitri's route, he mastered all manner of weaponry. Lances, swords, axes, gauntlets, and more.
Some of these weapons use magic, some use poison, and others are used to slay giant monsters. But all of them made Dimitri an ace at warfare, especially when Byleth taught him some special skills.
The seal movement technique stops foes in their tracks. Frozen Lance skewers enemies with ice, and Swordbreaker boosts evasion against blade users. To top it off, Dimitri can enter an awakened state for even more power.
Dimitri led his classmates through thick and thin, but everything changed when he suspected the one behind the...
They put emphasis on sword. And Guts also was like, it said it's too big to be a sword. So I want to say that that's not going to work.
The tragedy of Dusker was his old dagger friend, Edelgard. Dun dun dun!
To end Fodlan's oppressive crest system, Edelgard and her empire declared war on Fargus and the Church of Seiros.
Dimitri could be cruel before, but after this betrayal, he snapped, vowing to kill every last one of them. For 5 years, he slaughtered the enemy, all to appease the voices that called for Edelgard's head.
He's not exaggerating. Dimitri truly believes his dead loved ones cry to him, unable to know peace until he claims vengeance.
As if prince-turned-murderer hobo wasn't scary enough, he wields the ultimate lance, the hero's relic, Eredfar.
Forged from the bones of dragon-like Nabateans, Eredfar is much stronger than ordinary metal. It can pierce any armor with its signature move Atrocity, and only crestbearers can wield it without mutating into a monstrous black beast.
With his lance, Dimitri kept killing, but no bloodshed could calm his mind. He reached peak war crimes, torturing an enemy commander in blind rage.
But when his actions led to Rodrigue making the ultimate sacrifice, Dimitri was broken, terrified of yet another voice haunting him.
Except this time, he had his professor to help him out. We really gotta pay teachers more, y'all.
Dimitri still felt hatred for Edelgard, but looked past it to the friends and kingdom he neglected, and made a choice.
Instead of killing every last one of them, he would save every last one by retaking Fargus's capital.
A task this wretch-turned-savior king had the strength to do.
Dimitri has dodged meteors going Mach 60, decimated a squad of soldiers with one spear throw, and defeated a wizard from the magic Illuminati.
This is Talus, whose power shook a futuristic underground city.
And Dimitri just walked through his magic like it was nothing.
Dimitri's also more than a match for Edelgard, who, in her route, bested the Archbishop of the Church of Seiros, Rhea.
This is important because after dragging it up, Rhea survived 2 exploding javelins of light, aka magic nukes. Jeez, and Dimitri can fight on her level?
Indeed, but in the end, despite half a decade of slaughter, Dimitri was hesitant to kill Edelgard, in part from learning she wasn't responsible for the tragedy. Still, both monarchs had ideas for Fodlan that were simply incompatible.
And then Edelgard pulled a fast one with that old dagger present. Dimitri definitely felt that irony.
The war was over, and with his allies at his side, Dimitri claimed his place as a just king.
Unless, you picked a different house. His story doesn't end very happy in those.
But though the voices of the dead will haunt Dimitri until his final breath, so long as he has his friends, conviction, and compassion for the living, he will find peace.
I'm going with Guts.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
Guts
It's
don't know
time
magic, so
for
all his little magic-based feats means nothing. Like, everything he survived with magic doesn't mean anything, because Guts can't use magic. If anything, he can kill magical beings. And his sword is like a dragon. It's basically his dragon slayer, right? So I think he's going to break that spear and cut him in half. That's how I feel. This is going to end.
A death battle! 100 men strong. What drives your slaughter?
Save the high and mighty crap till you're dead. Tear your head from your shoulders! The dead must have their revenge! Go to hell! Bastard.
Avenge us.
Of course, fire.
Promise, I'll kill them, all of them, down to the last one! Enough of this!
I forgot that his armor was magic, so he can just destroy that. I forgot about that. Hey, he cut him in half. But he's dead.
Still standing? So we're both shackled to the dead. You foul beasts will not have his soul!
KO! I don't know what's scarier, Dimitri the Demon or Guts still standing there. He was a badass till the end.
Being fast enough to dodge lightning, Guts actually had a slight speed advantage over Dimitri, though skills like seal movement and swordbreaker helped Dimitri close the gap.
And while Dimitri had some
Swordbreaker
minor
shouldn't work.
healing
I said
magic
it
to fall
wasn't a
back
sword.
on, it wasn't gonna compete with the raw endurance from the Berserker armor.
Still, Dimitri's absurd strength and wider pool of weapons and abilities gave him plenty of ways to wear
Yeah,
Guts
he had
down.
magic,
Against
really
Dimitri's
did.
electricity magic, Guts' sword and armor were vulnerable conductors, making every clash an opportunity to electrocute him.
Sure, Guts has defeated lightning callers before, but he needed help. Not to mention, moves like Atrocity can pierce through armored foes, bypassing half the point of wearing the Berserker armor.
Guts could power through some of Eredfar's damage, but he wasn't invincible and could not heal from fatal wounds.
Then there's both fighters' raw power. Slaying demons is really impressive, obviously, but not always on par with magic nukes.
Remember, in Edelgard's route, she defeated Rhea, who
It's
survived
always
2
magic.
Javelins of Light. In Dimitri's route, he defeated Edelgard, while she was a powered-up crest monster. That happened.
So, if Rhea could take on the Javelins of Light, Dimitri should be at a similar level. So, let's find out how strong a Javelin is.
In Fodlan's lore, several javelins
See, that's the thing. You're comparing a human to a dragon. All because the human defeated the dragon does not mean it's just still this like the human is stronger than the dragon, like physically. It's just the human outsmarted it and won. They didn't like. He didn't. I don't know if he beat her with just fucking strength. Like, how did he beat her? Like, did he like cut her? Did he cut through it? That's just a sword that can break through a dragon's skin at that point. It's not his strength.
Javelins decimated a forest, forming the Valley of Torment. However, the exact number of javelins used to create the valley was never given, making the power of an individual javelin unclear.
But we do know the javelins in this attack were supposed to hit the Garrigmok Monastery, until the goddess Sothis noped them away and they hit the forest instead.
We also know that the Javelins of Light are not limitless, with typically no more than 6 being used at once, even against structures similar in size to Garrigmok.
So, if a similar amount were used in the attack that made the valley, each javelin would pack a payload that's over 3 gigatons of TNT.
Even if we severely lowballed this and said the destruction was divided between 10, 50, or even 100 different Javelins of Light, surviving 2 javelins would still be greater than the best of Guts' feats, even scaled to the Sea God. Guts' persistence meant he wouldn't go down easy, but against Dimitri's inhuman strength, devastating abilities, and fervent willpower, it was just a matter of time before the vengeful king wore through him.
Saying it makes me berserk, but Guts could only go so fargus.
The winner is Dimitri Alexandra Blathid. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, we have a new death battle releasing every 2 weeks this year. And click the join button to get new perks and extra content. Planet level members even see death battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
Silver Surfer? Dude, Silver Surfer wins. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, why will Silver Surfer lose this? Like, Martian Manhunter is good. He's powerful. But Silver Surfer, literally a cosmic level. I'm pretty sure he should win. Silver Surfer should win this. Martian Manhunter can phase, shapeshift, mind read, and super strength, and probably some durability with a weakness of fire. Silver Surfer, don't know his weakness, but I don't think being detached from his board is his weakness. I don't think that was actually real. I think that was just something the movies made up. I gotta look it up. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure Silver Surfer should win this fight. But this recent fight, this little fight right here sucked ass. That outcome was fucking trash, bro. There's no way that's the reasoning. Because a dragon survived 2 missiles? That was his reason for winning? Sure. Like, it wasn't him that survived it, it was the dragon. If he would have got hit with them fucking missiles, he would have died. There's nothing, no ifs, ands about that. Basically just survivability at that point. Guts had the more damage taken out of him. That's all I see. It's a fucking magic. All of this is not gonna be in this video, so I'm just gonna edit this shit out. I'm just looking for shit. I'm looking for the actual fucking nerds in this fucking comment section. understand why. Please explain how.